It's nothing that's a saving in a house on fire. Could you stay a while?
Thank you, everybody, for downloading this episode of Three Different Dads, now on our new release day of Friday morning. So if we're looking into the future here.
Welcome, everybody. It's beautiful Friday.
Happy Friday the 30th, everyone. Thanks
Yeah.
for listening.
Yeah, a great job, man. You guys just rolled right into that. You're professionals. So professional. Tyler's eating and drinking. So,
I'm parched.
oh, sorry. Well, I guess drinking's fine. Everyone does that. But anyway, guys, how was Christmas?
It was good.
Merry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
very
merry.
good. Yeah.
What Tyler, did you have your daughter on?
I
the
had
actual
my
day?
daughter for Christmas Eve through Christmas morning. We do
Oh,
our
nice.
switch like Christmas morning.
Okay.
So that's always fun. So yeah, Santa came. That was fun.
How early did you have to wake up?
Dude, it was great. 7:30.
7:30.
Dude, it was it was amazing. Because
Wow.
like she was scaring me the couple days before, because she's just like, can we get up at like 5 a.m.? And I'm like, no, we can't get up
Yeah.
at 5 a.m. And then so yeah, I'm laying in bed, and she just comes, wakes me up, and yeah, it's like, wow, this is great.
Were you because you were expecting
7:30.
early?
I was expecting way early, but I don't know if it was just because she was tired from
The
the
festivities.
day before or what. Yeah, who knows? But it was funny because we were at my mom and dad's house for Christmas Eve, and it was like 6 o'clock, and she's just like, what time are we leaving? Because do your kids do that? Like they get nervous, like they gotta be home for
Yeah.
for Santa. So it's always funny. But yeah, she's like, it was like as the hours went on, she got more and more and more uncomfortable till it was like I stretched it out till I think it was 9 or about 9 o'clock, and I was like, okay, fine, we'll leave.
Yeah.
So we ran inside and literally right in bed, and she was just like out. So that was nice.
Well, good.
My kids didn't wake up till about like 7:20, 7:30-ish. And I was expecting an earlier morning. I think one of the important thing or tactic that we've used is Christmas Eve has been like our big that's what we celebrate more than I guess Christmas itself. Like that's when all the families together, that we have our big dinner Christmas Eve, like we play all the games, all that type of stuff. And they open one present from us, like pajamas and a book, and then off to bed. So Christmas Eve morning, like Christmas Eve, the girls are super excited about Christmas Eve coming. And then it's like they kind of get up a little bit early, and then they're just go like all day. And then we kind of keep them up later Christmas Eve night, and then they're asleep and they're out cold at that point. And then, but yes, I thought the excitement and this might just be me, like, well, I mean, my daughter's in third grade. Like, I remember like fighting like hell, like trying everything I can to stay up. I'd like watch videos. I'd sleep in the base. Like, I'd be like, okay, I want to sleep here. Like, did whatever I could to stay up as late as possible, and then wake up as early as possible. I felt like, not for my kids. It's sleep, and which is fine, but I was just, it's kind of interesting. How about you, Lorenzo?
We also do stuff Christmas Eve, but our elf on the shelf brings their kids their pajamas every Christmas Eve, so they get to open those in the morning. And then we usually go to my in-laws and hang out there. This year we went over there earlier because they're Bills fans, so we watched the Bills game, and then me and Mateo took off and went to my parents' house to watch the Cowboys game. And then we went back to my in-laws to eat more food. So it's just eating and watching football basically this year. It's not always like that, but yeah, it's pretty much like I know what to expect now. Like since we've had kids, it's always, here's what we do on the 24th, we do this, on the 25th we do this, and my kids wake up super early. Like I think Mateo was up at 5, but we tell them you cannot wake us up until 6:30. So every year at 6:30 on the dot, they're rolling in our room.
So are they in their rooms until that
Yeah.
point? Do they go downstairs and like look at stuff or
No, they're not allowed to go downstairs. So usually Lillian will go into Mateo's room and they just hang out there, which is right next to our room. So if they're up, we're probably up anyway. But we're trying to sleep. This year they walked in playing Christmas music and like singing a song or something. I'm like, all right, let's go. But it's like all the like the because Mateo's 11, so all the excitement is like, is Santa, did Santa come? Did Santa come? And it's cool to like see that part of it. And I had a camcorder this year, so I was filming them, go through all
like
that
the
stuff.
big over the shoulder?
No,
Like-
it's literally half the size of my cell phone, and you just hold it like a freaking popsicle stick. So it's not the nostalgia home video that you're used to. But yeah,
That's awesome.
and then when you guys open presents, do you like anywhere, if you're at your parents or just at Christmas morning at your house, do the kids just like, all right, go at it, and then just open everything, or do everyone take a turn and everyone watches everyone else open presents? Because when I was a kid, there was 4 of us, and we just went Tasmanian devil, everyone just opening stuff at the same time. And now it's different. Now it's every person, and we watch everybody.
That's kind of what we do. Like, so this year I did the little spinny wheel thing at my grandparents' house, and we just spun the wheel to see who went, and we did one present at a time, which was interesting too. So like somebody would open a gift, and then I would do the spinny wheel again, and it would rotate. So that was kind of a fun way to do it, I thought. But there's
5 hours later, you're out of there.
No, it didn't take 5 hours. I was very efficient with the spinny wheel. I kept it going. I really did.
So like
all right, let's go.
As soon as the one name was up, you'd spin it again and like, all right, you're up next.
And I would have it all prepped.
Held it close. And then be like,
well,
feel.
Well, and it's the luck of the spinny wheel, because some people got to go back to back, and I was like, open another. So it was fun.
Yeah.
But we do, everybody gets like, it's the most inefficient thing in the world, and it drives me crazy because you start youngest to oldest. Youngest goes, opens up to oldest, and then it's then we go get more gifts. Everybody gets a gift.
Yeah.
Then we go sit back down.
Jim used to love the youngest to oldest, and now as he's getting older, he hates it.
No, it's just like after I realized we should have done a better job like separating the presents out beforehand, because the finding presents for everybody, making sure everyone becomes
gotta be a present passer outer. You have to have
time
that.
sucker.
Yeah.
And then it's just like okay. But the youngest to oldest thing works nice because theoretically the oldest have a lot less gifts, and then the youngest ones just boom, 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 boom. And so but it's something that like we take a break halfway through to go to restrooms, to do like
there's an intermission. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then it's just like, okay, let's go back at it again. It's like, my God, like we have enough shit. Let's like I always tell my wife, when she was giving a maid of honor speech, like cut it in half and then cut it in half again and you'll be good. We could probably do that with Christmas lights or Christmas gifts. We could probably cut it in half and cut it in half, and there's a point of diminishing returns. I don't think the girls at a certain point are like, my Christmas is better because I got to open
75 gifts. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that too. I guess as I get older, I keep thinking that. I'm like, man, you just keep buying and buying and buying for your kids, and then all of a sudden it's just like they open it so quick and it's just over. And you're like,
yeah.
Damn.
Also, the Jim, at your Christmas, the gift open per minute rate is pretty low there. You gotta bump that puppy up just to get through it. Man, intermission, like if I was like, all right, here's our break, I'd look around and be like, do we need it? Can we just power through? Where are we at here?
The problem is with the elder statesmen that are there have been up a lot, or were up a lot earlier than everybody else. So they were drinking coffee, and then it was the kids. After a while, it's like, all right, you went straight from being awake to coming downstairs. Like normally you go to the bathroom right away. Like, let's just like pause for a second, clean up a little bit, like get all the pay, like let's kind of regroup. But I agree, like my key performing indicators, my KPIs, like they need to be improved for next Christmas, and they will be. We'll figure it out. It's a process.
Wait,
Need
so
to
you're
improve it.
so your entire family is there? It's you guys are somewhere Christmas morning or
Yeah.
Christmas Eve
So,
morning?
well,
Okay.
so my in-laws are stayed at the apartment and then came downstairs. My
Okay.
sister-in-law stayed in the media room last night. Like Christmas Eve, like we do Mexican food and margaritas, and everybody plays games all night. Like we go late, and then
You go hard in the paint.
yeah, and then we
Dude,
wake up early and then kind of go. So,
the
Uh,
last couple Christmases we've been rotating themed meals, like, or themed like places to eat around the world. Think of it as like, so one year we did France. That was actually really good.
Sounds
This year
gross.
we did, it was actually really good. This year we did just like American barbecue, and my mom made a brisket. It was money. It was
Yeah.
great. Shout
Nice.
out to Judy. Yeah.
I
Shout out
told
to Judy
Tyler it
for
looked a little dry.
brisket. It was good, dude. It was super.
Um,
I was amazed that that little grill kept up in negative 30-degree temperatures or whatever, but
well, you know what's
themed dinners.
all right.
That's fun.
That what's crazy to me, Jim, is like in the Christmas morning, it's just here. It's at my house with just me and Andrea, my kids, and our kids, and I can't imagine like having other people over in like early, like in the morning, like just because we've never done it that way. Like it's always been the morning at our house, or even when I was a kid, like everyone's coming over, but it's the evening, so we got to wait,
So
until people come over.
what did you do in your family though? Like if you had people visiting from out of town?
That didn't mm, that didn't happen very often because my dad's family's from Texas, and they didn't really. We always went down there, but it was always after Christmas or before Christmas.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, and my when we did have family, it was always my mom's brothers and my grandma and grandpa on that side, and it was like, hey, we'll be over at 5 at p.m. and we'll eat dinner, open presents or whatever. But
Yeah, I
so
don't.
it's an odd thing to me. Not like it's odd for people to do it, but for me, like
Thanks.
I would be uncomfortable.
No, I mean that's just like we always did. I would either go visit like my family in St. Louis or like family in DC or whatever, or they'd come to our house. So it was always, I felt like people from out of town were always together over Christmas, like at their house. And
Mhm.
then it's just kind of a go thing. But I mean, last year, my wife had COVID over Christmas, and it was amazing to just have the four of us at the house. Like it was very like
Well, like your Thanksgiving this
super
year.
chill. Yeah. Like it
Yeah.
was just like, hey, let's go do, type of a thing. So,
Yeah.
um,
I
but
kind of like it like that. That's how it's been, at least for me, the last couple of years, is just
Wake up
living
Christmas
on
morning and you're
mornings.
just like,
You're just doing
it's
your own
just,
thing, yeah, for a couple hours, and
yeah.
then eventually, like, we end up at my mom's house usually. But yeah, it's kind of low key, and I like it.
yeah, we do that. And then my father-in-law makes like pigs in a blanket the night, but like a couple, like the day before. And then we just pop those bad boys in the oven. And then as we transition from that to breakfast, and then they set up the kids' stuff. And then it's usually lunchtime.
Nothing
And
like
then after,
hot dogs for breakfast, huh?
dude, kolaches. Okay.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I mean,
So yeah. And so yeah, and then after lunch, we're pretty much done for the day. And then it's just kids play with their stuff
yeah.
and parents usually take a nap.
So Tyler, you have themed dinners.
That
Jim,
was new as of a couple of years ago. Yeah,
okay,
we
all right,
ripped it off from my cousin.
okay.
But yeah,
I know for the past few years we've done a breakfast. I was at my parents' house. It's always just been a breakfast, and then after we eat, we open presents. My in-laws, my mother-in-law always makes ravioli because they make their own sauce, so we always have some sort of pasta. Like it's usually ravioli. I don't think it's ever been anything else. Do you guys
They
like?
call it gravy.
They do not. It's just sauce.
Okay.
Yeah. Jim, it sounds like you guys always have like the same stuff, or does it get changed up a little bit?
No, it's pretty it's Mexican food from Chewy's,
Nice.
then breakfast, and the lunch changes, I guess, but it's usually like it's super low key. It's
Hmm.
either leftover Chewy's or it's
Pizza or something easy.
something or like turkey sandwiches.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
I,
yeah.
I think that makes it easier when like, especially if you're the one preparing or hosting, like, well, this is what we're doing, so there's no questions. Like, I don't have to put a text out like, hey, what are we eating or who's bringing what or whatever. It just makes it easier to get through the holiday.
Yeah, we do the Christmas like a Christmas party with my in-laws, like extended family, and that's just like kind of the stuff like the mashed potatoes, the turkey, all that type of stuff. Um, and it's good to have every once in a while, but it's just like, eh, I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't
Yeah.
need the stuff you
That's what
put
I
in
think.
the
That's why we started rotating at least for our family. Was like I think people were just getting sick of like Thanksgiving was obviously always turkey, and then Christmas seemingly always was ham for years and years and years. And then somebody like threw out the idea, or my mom overheard my cousin talking, and she's like, "Yeah, we do different themes." And she's like, "Oh, that's an interesting idea." And so we've been doing it a couple of years, and it works. It's kind of cool, It's like
Does
because then
everybody
you're
bring
actually getting
something?
something different. They can. So like I usually, like I want to say, yeah, again, I guess it's just up to, the family of what people want to do. But, last couple of years, my mom and dad have been planning pretty well, and it's really good food. I'm not gonna lie.
So did you bring like Budweiser?
I brought nothing.
Oh,
Classic Tyler.
I showed up to
hey
help
guys, I'm
with the
here.
brisket.
Feed me.
My mother FaceTimed me the night before when she was trimming the brisket, asking me questions of where to trim the brisket.
Yeah.
She actually it looked like really good, but I finally though, after I don't know, last time I asked somebody like a pro barbecue and they actually messaged me back about it, was the whole like cook your brisket early and then leave it in a cooler just covered with like towels. The brisket was done at I think 2:30. We left it in a cooler covered in towels for 3 hours and literally pulled it out, sliced it up, and it was perfect. And it was still like super hot, super warm. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
cooler trick legit works.
Yeah. You've never, as much as you have that smoker, you've never known about that.
I just it always threw me off because and truth be told, like the one time I went to visit Jim down in Texas, we tried to do a brisket and Jim's wife obviously was there. Rick's wife, Adrian, was there. And they're just like, what time are we eating? We're like, well, we'll do a lunch. Yeah. The brisket took like, I think we ate it like 8 o'clock at night because the brisket just would not cook. It had
Yeah.
the famed brisket stall.
You gotta wrap it,
So-
man.
We did, dude. This thing was not moving. It was
Wow.
really good afterwards. But so anyway, ever since then, like I've been terrified to do brisket for like events because
Yeah.
I like my mom was again planning this one. She's like, "What time do you think I need to put it on?" I said, "Well, I really can't tell you that." I said, "I can give you a gauge of time, but I was like, I would do it earlier rather than try and time it because." And I told her the reason why, and I used Jim's story as an example. But that's
Yeah.
true. It's like every time you try and time up a brisket, it's really hard. But I had never done the whole like pre-plan it, cook it early, and then just let it sit in a cooler with towels. I had never done that. So
Yep. Ever since I was little,
worked.
like I remember when we would go down to Texas and people would be cooking out and stuff, and everyone always had a cooler with meat in it, like just waiting.
That's so cool. Just the meat cooler.
It's a
Just
cooler
the
full of
meat
meat.
cooler. It's just like so like when I started getting into my smoker, like people were talking about the cooler and stuff. I'm like I can have a meat cooler now.
Oh yeah.
It's like such a dad thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I just got the cooler out of the basement at my mom and dad's house. And it was funny though, as soon as like I lifted the lid, there's like so my brother brought his 2 dogs and my parents have a dog, and all the dogs were starting to go like like smelling like they smelled it and they were just like all over that damn brisket.
So we're on topic of food. One of the things we had mentioned in our text chain is our favorite holiday like dessert, basically. Tyler, you're the one who put this out there. I'm assuming you put it out there because you kind of have something that comes to mind right away. Is there something you have?
Just
Some
Christmas cookies, sweets in general. Like
Is
I'm
there
the
is there
dude.
one like if there's a platter of like here's all these cookies that were made? Is there something like this is the first one I have to eat?
Your standard like sugar Christmas cookie, I guess,
Yeah.
like the cutouts. It's just good.
Jim.
Buckeyes. My family does like homemade Buckeyes.
Yeah.
So those are a go-to all the time. Yeah.
The
That's
peanut butter blossoms are like 1-1.
What's a peanut butter blossom?
Peanut butter cookie with a Hershey kiss in the middle.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
those
I-
are I had about 5-6 of those
yeah.
yesterday.
You
Yeah.
walk by those and it's just like little appetizers. Just they're smaller a little bit sometimes, just like a little pop. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's a one biter.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like
It can be. Yeah.
yeah,
It can be.
yeah.
Couple
It's kind
bites.
of like yeah, I don't know, but it's there. That's a clear 1-1 for me. I also
Yeah.
do you guys ever make no bake cookies?
No. You know what's funny though? Whenever I hear about no bake anything, no bake cookies or pies, Irwin would always make no in high school would always make no bake pie. And he'd always have it. Or if we're hanging out over there, he'd be like, "Hey, you want to make a Hershey's no bake pie?" And we're like, "Sure." Yeah, I'm in high school. I'm 6'2", 270 pounds. Yeah, I'm always gonna want to make a no bake.
Those are one of those things like I only would ever have during Christmas time, and that my wife's not a huge fan of them, but like whenever I get my hands on those, that's
Game over.
Those
Do you
are
guys
clear.
rock the I think it's just like a pretzel and then you melt a Rolo on top of it and that's it. Like it's just like a Rolo and a pretzel.
I like
Little
Rolos.
savory little sweet.
I love
Dude, it
chocolate covered pretzels.
so all you do is you put like you get the little square pretzels, you put them on a baking sheet and then you literally just put a Rolo and then you like bake it for I don't know 10-15 minutes and let the Rolo melt into the chocolate and then you let them cool. There you go.
Sounds good. Sounds
It's-
easy too.
It's really easy,
Yeah.
very good.
Chocolate and salt, not hard.
Good combination.
It's just yeah.
My grandma used to make these cinnamon and sugar. I was looking for the recipe a few years ago. Apparently they're called Mexican wedding cookies. But my grandma would make them for Christmas all the time. They're just same thing, just cutouts, but cinnamon and sugar on both sides. Like I said, I found the recipe and I made it, and it was my first try was okay, but after I started doing it more, I was like, yes, I'm hitting a home run here. It felt, and then the real test was giving one to my grandma, and she loved it. So I love those, and my mom makes, my grandma would too. Basically, elephant ears, but we call them buñuelos. They're just fried. It's exactly like an elephant ear, only a little bit smaller, a little more manageable to eat. But we
You know
make
what's trash, but is like super difficult to find, but you
those.
have
I don't like that I said my stuff and then you go, you know what's trash? But continue.
He's
When you said,
zagging.
like-
Let him zag.
No,
when you
zigging,
said
he's
your
zigging.
cinnamon things, at first I was picturing like those like super thin cookies that like break apart, like they've got like a weird
It's like a stamp on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are trash, but that's at first what I thought you were talking about. But but my like biggest like trash cookie that
You know the thing that
waiting
you really
for-
like? That's trash.
No.
gingerbread cookies, like
I never liked those.
it's impossible to find like for some reason we have to make gingerbread cookies at our house, and like it's just like okay,
Do you guys do
for
the
a
cutouts?
bite- what
Is that your cutout version? Is instead of doing cutouts, you do gingerbread cookies? Is that what
oh
you
we
guys
do it all, dude. We do cutouts,
okay.
we do gingerbread men, we do
And by we, do you mean everybody but not you?
But
I mean,
you.
my wife.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I got in trouble because I had a couple things of cookie dough the day before, and
You
like
wait. You had like you ate them?
yeah,
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just making sure.
I did it, and then I like turned the package the other way so it doesn't face it. And this is like that's a future gym problem. Like I know I'm gonna get yelled
You
at.
set
so
yourself
we
up
can-
for failure, Jim.
How do you figure? I got to enjoy my cookie dough.
Sure you did, but how like Lorenzo would be like I would be just panicking, like, oh, I'm gonna have to cross that bridge at some point, and I wouldn't even like. I'd enjoy it at the moment, but immediately when that was over, I'm like, nope, I know.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I knew going into it, it was probably wasn't going to happen for me, but it just, yeah. So,
So how much trouble did you get in?
not very much. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it was fine. We had leftover cookie dough anyways,
Okay,
so it's
all right.
like I got first dibs at it.
So you got lucky, is what you're saying?
I mean, it's yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's all good.
I like how you said the night before I had cookie dough, like you could have just said I ate some cookie dough. Like you, the way you said it was confusing, and you could have just been like, yeah, I murdered some cookie dough because I was hungry.
I walked by, I saw it there. I was looking for a snack, and I was just like, So the biggest issue I made, though, I probably could have got away with it more,
Yeah.
and pinned it on my kids. Was I did a fine cut on the back of the cookie dough wrap, like a sealing thing, and then turned it, like, just so it looked like nothing had happened.
Yeah.
If my kids did that, it would have just been just torn open and
Their
you know,
hand in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
So tuck
just
that
a
away for
bite
next
mark
year.
out of it.
Yeah. Just tuck that away for next year.
Yeah. So
You take a bike mark and your wife's like, or you say, hey, it's one of the kids. Like, Jim, I can see your crown imprint on this thing. Man.
Look at this bite pattern. It's huge. It can't be the kids.
Damn. All right. Well,
Favorite
man,
gift?
360. What is well, yeah, what's like I'm assuming your kids give you guys gifts. I know I will go shopping with my kids to get something for Andrea and vice versa. What'd you guys get this year? Tyler, we'll start with you, Tyler.
Livy, you can tell, just kind of goes shopping on her own, and she just buys things that she thinks I'll like, which is
Yeah.
always fun because I honestly don't ever really know what I'm gonna get. So this year, she got me a Michigan t-shirt. She got me a Marty McFly Back to the Future magnet, which I actually really like because I'm a big Back to the Future fan. That was pretty much it. Honestly, I unwrapped that magnet and I was like, hell yeah, this is sweet. I
Yeah.
don't know. I liked it. Because
Sure.
again, I can tell like she's shopping. Like it's all like whatever she thinks I think I'll like. So
Hmm.
that's always fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jim?
we got a wallet.
Yeah. Not too
you
thrilled.
go-
You don't look too thrilled.
I mean, it's okay. I'm not a huge Christmas presents person.
Yeah.
It was never like an important thing like in our family, I feel like, and now it's become like a thing, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's so we're also at the point like if I want something, I'll go out and buy it for myself.
Just
Yeah,
buy
but
it myself.
how off I struggle mightily by doing that though. I cannot buy myself stuff.
1000%. Like, and it's usually like when I get asked what I want, it's like stuff I would just not buy for myself. I'll tell you, weird thing. My sister, for gifts for me, is a great gift giver. She buys me the most random shit. Like last year, or 2 years ago, I got a plot of land in
Scotland.
Ireland, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a lord.
Yeah.
I
heard-
got
I heard about
yeah. So she'll like this year she bought me like super like or unique waters throughout the world. And they came bottled. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell. Like, it's in my fridge right now. At some point, supposedly there's a sommelier just for water.
Yes, I've heard podcasts. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So supposedly you could do something like that.
You can invite friends over and do a tasting.
I mean, some of these look like these nice bottles that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, okay, that's kind of I mean, I would never buy myself something like that.
Yeah.
It's a little interesting. But no, like it's just like, okay, I got a wall, I got a new charger. Um,
That stuff, right? I,
Sure.
I got I got a water bottle, which I needed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect.
which is great. Like it's like, okay, yeah. If we didn't have Christmas, I might just go out and buy this myself. But it's I got it. Okay, cool. Like, thanks. But I don't know.
Do you remember gifts you would buy for your parents? Because I had when I was a kid, they had this store that would come to our school. And
Yes.
my parents would give me money to buy them presents, and I always wanted to buy my dad Cowboy stuff because we're Cowboys fans, but it was always just local teams. So he ended up with a lot of Browns like mugs or like chip clips or like just be like, and I'd be like, Dad, your second favorite team is Cleveland, right? He's like, yeah, sure. So like I had a lot of that stuff.
Dude, what a great racket that was. But
Yes.
like, hey, kids,
Yes.
go get your parents to give you $20
Mm-hmm.
to go spend like $4 of actual value of stuff, but you have no idea because you're a little kid and just they're like, oh yeah, mom will really like this or dad like the amount of like shitty probably like heart-shaped necklaces my mom got, like, and it's just like,
Yes.
okay, she'll like this. She likes hearts.
It's like tinfoil.
Yeah. Probably got from like a vending machine. But yeah, it's okay. Power to them. I don't think they do that stuff anymore.
No,
The
they
book
have like
fairs.
they have book fairs.
Book
Yes.
fairs.
Yeah. But
And by book fairs, it's like Livy comes home with more toys than books every
Yeah.
time. Like it's BS.
I have a
Does she-
strict. It's a book fair, not a toy fair. Put it
Yeah.
back.
I've had that conversation and she still brings back toys.
Mateo usually does pretty well. They both usually do a pretty good job, but they usually end up with like 1 year I was pretty excited. Mateo was like, Dad, I got a they were still the Indians at the time. I got an Indians poster and we hung it up and there was five people on there. And when he bought it, there were already two that weren't on the team anymore. And now there's only one. It's Jose Ramirez. I think that he might not even been on there yet. So
That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
always a tough gift to give for an Indians fan or a Guardians fan. It's like the following year poster because half the team usually turns over. So
yeah.
Or I remember Tyler's jersey of Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I can open my closet. You want to see them all? I got them right behind me.
Yeah.
I was actually, oh yeah. I
I'm
was
just
Does
actually
he have a
not-
Kelly
the other-
Winslow jersey?
I'd never got a Winslow jersey. My
Oh.
brother Zach does.
Okay.
I have a Trent Richardson jersey back there. I have a Braylon Edwards jersey back there. Johnny Manziel. Like I do, I just so many.
I've
Actually, I
never
think I sold
been-
the Johnny Manziel as like a gag gift thing.
I've never been a jersey person. Like,
I've really stopped.
Have you?
I forced myself. Well,
Yeah.
just from so much bad luck with quarterbacks and
I think I said
players.
it on here months ago, but my dad, I was like, Dad, I think this is gonna be a spur of the future. I'm gonna give you a bunch of money, buy Mateo a DeJounte Murray jersey, like a legit jersey. And he did, and then proceeded to get traded not even 6 months later.
That's why I think it's always retired players, man. Like,
It's tough though because like for Mateo, like for little kids, like they don't know those players. Now for us, yes,
Yeah.
for us, that's definitely the way to go. But like I think my dad told Mateo about Emmett Smith. And so Mateo's been looking at YouTube clips of Emmett Smith. So he's been getting into him a little bit. But he I think what's the way to go is shirtsies. I think that's the way to do it.
yeah,
So he has some of those. He does have a Dak jersey. That's actually, obviously been okay for him that he likes to wear. He has a Jason Witten jersey that was mine that he has now. But yeah, I think shirtsies is the way.
yeah. What did you get, Lorenzo?
I got a water bottle. I always get so it's funny. I filled up a water bottle. This is probably a month ago. I filled up a water bottle, and Mateo is always downstairs right before I leave for work. He has to get up for school. So I have a water bottle in my hand, it was mine at some point, and he goes, "Hey, that's my water bottle I use for school." I go, "What are you talking about? This is my water bottle." He goes, "Well, I use it for school." I'm like, "All right, well, here you go. I'll grab something else." So I think that's what he probably told Andrew, like, "Hey, can you get him a water bottle? He tried to steal mine." So a water bottle. I always get socks and white
This dude
t-shirts.
took my water bottle.
Yeah. I always get socks and white t-shirts from my in-laws. This year we're doing, I think we talked about it with I think we talked about it on a couple podcasts ago. But at my parents' house, we're gonna have Christmas tomorrow. But every adult bought toys just for another adult. So we don't have to buy for everybody. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. I got my brother-in-law. So I got some pretty good gifts I'm pretty excited about. But
Well,
I
it's
just-
Friday. He's
Are
already.
they actually like
Yeah.
kid toys, but for adults? Like toys?
no, this is just adult. Like you're buying for an adult, you can buy whatever they want. Yeah.
So I didn't even know this is a thing, but have you heard about like adults? Like there's this movement for like people like pretty much, let's be honest, it's our age. And like I'll tell you that the company that I think of that's hit it well is Legos. Like Legos, dude, I saw so many people around the holidays that they were going through the Lego aisle and they were buying for like their significant other. I heard that conversation 2 or 3 times in the Lego aisle. That like the dad, for instance, was with their kids. The kids had like little mini Legos to keep their mouth shut, you know. He's like, I'll get you these. I heard this conversation verbatim. I'll remember these Legos are yours, but this Lego is for mommy. Keep your mouth shut. This is mommy's Christmas gift. You can't say anything, or else I'll take those Legos away. And I was like, dude, and like I'm telling you, Legos, man, they're hitting up.
I mean,
That-
it's like
adults.
it's a more fun puzzle.
Yeah.
I actually think so. I won't
Um,
lie. I bought my brother a Lego for Christmas. He appreciated it. It was a James Bond 007 Aston Martin.
Well, there was an article that came out that the biggest growth in the toy industry is from adults. Like not just adults buying them for kids, but adults buying them for themselves
Buying
or
them
other
for
adults.
themselves. Yeah.
I was
What happened
Mateo.
when Biden got elected.
Yeah, people started. Adults started having fun. Yeah.
People started having fun again.
Stopped winning.
Mateo got one from Santa. It was a Pikachu one that like it like cranks and you can move it once you
That's
build it.
sweet.
He started
Yeah.
building it. There was like 14 bags, and he's like he opened one, started it, and I was like, "What happened?" He's playing his Switch like on the Legos he's building. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "There's just so many bags." So I built it. I spent like an hour putting some of it together. I was like, "Do you want to build this?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Do you just want to build the Pikachu part?" He's like, "Yeah," because you like build a base first with all the inner workings and stuff with the gears. So I built that, and he was like, "I want to build the Pikachu." I said, "That's fine," but it is fun to do. But you're
Yeah,
right,
I-
Jim.
I-
I've
yeah,
never heard
I
it
think
put
it's
that
fun.
way. Like a more fun puzzle. But you're right.
So after Christmas morning, my youngest daughter got, well, I guess it was a gift for both of them, but it's more for my youngest one, a Barbie Dream House.
Mhm.
And the selling point is like it has 75 plus pieces, which to me is not a great selling point, but whatever. Spent a while putting that together. Best part is our buddy Trey sends me a picture. He's like, "This is my morning," and it's putting together the exact same fucking house. And so him and I are going back like, "Hey, piece A3, where exactly? What's that look like? And how did you do this?" And
Yeah.
it's like, man, 20 years ago, who would have thought? Yeah, that we're
Dude, last
putting
year,
together Barbie dream houses.
and only people on YouTube can see this. Last year, that thing's like 4 feet tall. Screws,
Yeah.
glue, nails. Like it was like 3 hours. 3 hours of putting it
nuts.
together. Dude, it was crazy.
Dude, and then it's so got that going, and then it's like I spent an hour with it. My kids play with it for like 40 minutes, and they're like, "Hey, let's also build this thing." I'm like,
Yes.
"Oh, like let's just chill with like what can we put off till tomorrow?" Like,
Guys, we have a whole year to do these things.
yeah, we don't need to play with every single thing that exact day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to say too or like too for sure, but I think the hand up like I'm getting out of the build it phase because Olivia asked for a couple actual like clothes this year, and that's like she threw those on immediately, like opening up gifts. So yeah, I think maybe I'm done building phase. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but I'd be okay
How,
with it.
do you guys when you guys I don't know if you guys go see Santa, I'm assuming so the kids will sit on or write letters or whatever. Do you ever like see Santa later, like closer to Christmas, and you're not sure if Santa will be able to deliver the gifts that your children have asked for? Because it's a little too close to Christmas.
So I'll like full transparency. Olivia does not like to go see Santa for whatever reason. And now that she's older, she also is now saying, like, no matter what Santa she sees, that's the fake Santa. There's
Mm.
only one real Santa, and that's the fake Santa. And I'm like, he looks pretty real to me. Like there was a Santa at Disney, and I was like, there's Santa. And she's like, no,
Like, Dad,
Santa's not here.
he's wearing Bermuda shorts, Dad.
No, this dude was in, like, it was like part of the Christmas parade that was driving around town, but yeah, that's not the real Santa. There's only one real Santa, but
We've
So-
had an issue where we wrote a letter and Santa wrote it back, and it's a day or two before Christmas, and you're like, all right, Santa, well, we'll cross your fingers that that you can get it on time.
yeah,
We usually have a
Uh,
cutoff date for when
cut off date.
whenever we're after we
All
buy
mail
stuff,
is stopped.
it's,
Yeah, December
yeah.
14th, all mail is stopped by then.
we can't
No,
request anything new.
Yeah.
Yeah, Olivia did throw us a curveball this year, kind of about 2 weeks before Christmas, and she's like, "I want a phone." And I was like, "Oh, okay, we'll see what
Did you
happens
do
there."
it?
So I ended up doing it.
Did
That
she
came
ask
from
Santa?
that came from Dad and Mom. So
Oh, okay.
she asked Santa, but I told her that I talked to her elf Holly to deliver the message to Santa that I was going to get her the phone. So she's excited.
Well,
She's
good.
an adult,
So we
a
were
9-year-old adult.
Ty and I were talking about this offline. Had probably like a half-hour conversation about phones, and at that point, it was, yeah, I probably won't get it.
Yeah, I
Who,
it was
uh,
like the one. It was honestly, it was like the one gift that I was just like, I really kind of want to get her the phone. I don't know.
What about the Disney week vacation that you guys just went on?
That was just a part of life. That was just
it's just
fun.
vacation.
That was just vacation.
That's
That
all
was
right.
as much for me to get away from work than anything. Let's be honest. So.
That happened to us last year. We're like, all right, kids. When we did, like, Andrea did a scavenger hunt, and the kids, like, I found suitcases, opened them, and it says we're going to Disney or whatever. We're like, all right, so there's not a lot of presents, and I looked at the tree. I was like, there's still kind of a lot of presents.
It is. I'll be honest. Like, it's hard to cut back. Like, at least for me, because I honestly like I only got her so many this year, and again, I guess part of it was Disney, but yeah, like I felt bad that she didn't have a lot of gifts to open from me, and I was just like, oh man, this kind of sucks.
They're like, I'm a
So I
single
ended up
dad.
getting her-
I live alone. Like, relax, okay.
She doesn't process that. She thinks Dad's made of money, so yeah.
Oh man. Well, this next segment is brought to you by HOAs. If you want to build your dream home and then be told what to do, join the HOA. HOA. If you want your neighborhood all right, HOA.
Oh my god.
Dad jokes, guys.
This
How prepared are you? Or not at all?
Pause.
Can I tell you,
We'll cut
Bucher,
this.
Scott Bucher sent me a text with a link. It says, "This is for when you, what do you say exactly?" He said, "For quick reference, when you three inevitably forget to have jokes ready for the show." So I kept it to myself because
What did he send you?
he
What
just
is
sent me
it?
a link with some dad jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, let's see here. It's funny because we're just like in a letter off with our person who's just defying the HOA.
Yeah.
Um, So we
People
have
just
that
keep writing letters back and forth.
Yeah.
That's so passive aggressive.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Uh, So the thing that's just at a standstill.
Yeah. So I realized real quick
Jim, you
the
should
HOA
just go
has
walk
grown
down
up.
there. You should just go walk down there with like a power tool and like just like
Cut it
as
in
they're
half.
watching you just get a
The
hacksaw,
Sawzall, cut it in half.
down.
They're finally installing fiber in the neighborhood, so it's like they're gonna have to move that basketball hoop to like install the fiber lines. So maybe it just gets tipped over.
Did you say I think I heard you say Tyler interrupted, but I heard you say that you found out HOA really has no power.
Yes. Like you have to have like ironclad like legal docs, and then we realized ours is very vague
Mm,
um, in what we can and cannot enforce. Like the neighborhood is pissed because we actually like sent out 2 letters and they just happened to be across the street from each other. And one of the houses was like, we get a new HOA committee, and all of a sudden we're getting letters for stuff, and this hasn't been an issue for X number of years. It's just like, well, new sheriff's in town.
wait.
So,
So have you always had an HOA committee, or is this brand new?
no,
Oh, okay.
we've always had it.
Okay,
Um,
but there's a new gym in town, and you're not you're just writing letters like crazy.
exactly. Actually, I don't really give a shit about it. But the whole thing was, my point was, hey, if it's the rules within this and other people are complaining to us about it, like then we should follow what the rules are saying.
But didn't you
Sounds-
say you're trying to take this down from the inside?
Little do they know. Little do they.
One missed letter at a time.
But
Sounds like
dude,
you could use
it's
some muscle, Jim.
yeah.
Sounds like you could
Oh,
use some muscle.
That's what
around
I was
there.
just like. So what if we just come over there and knock it over in the middle of the night? Like what
That's right.
happens?
Oh my gosh. Local
Just as
local
they're,
H
yeah, as they're looking at it outside in the morning, you're just sipping your coffee, like walking your dog, and you're just like, that's what's up.
local HOA member arrested.
Arrested,
Dude, my
racketeering, wire fraud.
Dude, the worst is I have 2 large trees and there's a lot of leaves on them and they fall late. Like there's still a couple of leaves up there. So I don't want to have like get my yard clean before all the leaves fall, or else I'm just gonna have it done twice. And so
But now you're
Um,
worried about that HOA coming after you.
He is
Well,
the HOA.
my yard looks
But he still has to
mine and
abide
my
by it.
neighbor's yard, because we've kind of had this conversation like, hey, it's kind of pointless for us to do this just to like have it done again. So we kind of like hold off. Our yards look terrible compared to everybody else's, is all like nice and clean, and ours look like shit. I had a guy come out the other day. It was like when the storms were coming, and he had his blower and he starts blowing, and the leaves are just like smacking him right back in the face. And I get a text like, hey boss, not going to be able to do it today. It's just counterproductive for me to even be trying to fight this wind. It's like, yeah, okay.
I get it.
So I told my other
All good
neighbor, I'm
bro.
like, hey, sorry to be the asshole with the leaves, but it is what it is right now. So hopefully I don't get a letter from my own organization saying get your shit together. But I guess
Could
if
you-
I do,
could
I
you
just
imagine?
be like, I don't care.
You're,
No.
you're supposed to be an example of this institution.
Jimmy has to write a
And
letter
you are
to
not part of the problem, sir.
Jimmy has to write a letter to himself.
And then respond back
and
to
then
myself.
respond with a letter of apology, and then note that it was windy the day they're going to do it.
Oh my gosh. All right, is that enough stall time for dad jokes?
I think so. I
Hmm.
think it's sufficient. See,
I
yeah,
didn't
we
even
could very
realize that's what we're
easily
doing.
we could very easily slot like an attorney like name in there for like, some credit after the HOA talk. So Jim, find some local attorneys and we'll
Dude, the one thing that I love about Texas, and I don't remember this in Ohio, but the lawyer commercials here are second to none. Like, were you killed in an automobile? Like, did an 18-wheeler kill your family? Like, I'm your guy. I'm the sledgehammer. Yeah, like It's intense. They just start screaming and yelling, and then I'm like, my God, this guy would have my back in court. I want him.
There's one guy in Cleveland that I think of that if I ever get T-boned by a semi, I'm calling him, and his name is Mitzi because he reminds
Ms. Me makes him pay.
Mizzy makes him pay.
Ms. Me.
That's
Ms.
his
Me.
slogan.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's had this slogan, Jim, you're laughing, but he's had this slogan for like 5 or 10 years, and it actually kind of like directly lined up with Better Call Saul timing. So like he has, and his billboard like is just him pointing like at the billboard itself, and it's like Mitzi makes him pay. And then now he has removed that, and now he says, "You know what I do."
I mean, I haven't
everyone's
seen
like,
that one. I haven't seen
Dude, that's the update. So if you go to Cleveland anytime soon, it literally he has his face still, and he goes, "You know what I do." And I'm like, "You make him pay." That's right. Anyway, all right.
I also listened to a podcast about how that started. I mean, it sounds boring, but it was very interesting. So, because they used to not be able to do that. They used to not be able to advertise like lawyers and
that
stuff
they
like
make
that.
him pay.
Well, not that, just in general. Then it went all the way to like the Supreme Court, and they said, yeah, they can advertise, and then it just went
Oh
crazy.
wow, lawyers went to the Supreme Court.
That
What
wasn't
if
my
they
dad
build
joke.
themselves?
That wasn't our podcast, Jim. Don't rip it.
All right. I'll go first. Everybody look at me.
Focus.
Sunday.
Waterfall.
Here we go. Sundays are always a little sad, but the day before is a Saturday.
Okay.
All right. I had a
I get it. I
had a bunch
it.
to choose from. That's and the reason I chose that is because I was like, I know this hasn't been said yet. The other ones I wasn't sure.
There's a lot of good ones out there. Go ahead, Jim.
So I have some Christmas dad jokes to get us over this. So why shouldn't you lend money to elves? They're always short.
All right.
What do you call Santa when he's on a break?
Santa pause.
Santa pause. What did the ocean say when Santa flew over? Nothing. It just waved. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll be here all week.
I
your
actually
family?
had a Christmas related one too, but he didn't take it, so that's good.
Were you nervous the whole time?
I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, if this happens, I'll just bow out. All right. What did Adam say on the day before Christmas? It's Christmas Eve.
I like
Get
that
it?
one the
Did you
best.
hear
I
about
think.
the ski trip?
We're just gonna go.
He's
We're just gonna keep going.
It started off fine, but then went downhill fast.
Boom.
All right.
All
That's
right.
my encore.
Thank you.
Well, we'll put the clapping in at that area.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hopping in on a day off, and we're into the new year with our next episode. So I appreciate you guys. We are now once a week, so we will get our scheduling squared away. But again, check us out. We have social media everywhere. 3 Dads on Instagram. I should probably know exactly what it is. I think it's 3 different dads. The number 3 different dads on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.
We're on Tinder.
No, we are not.
Okay.
No, I don't know if they allow
Check out the podcast.
3 dads on one profile.
Yeah,
We
they
have a-
allow a lot of stuff.
Unless you're
on
into
Tinder,
that
so,
stuff.
Yeah.
we have a Gmail, 3differentdads@gmail.com. If you
Ooh.
want to email the show, Facebook page, 3 different dads everywhere. We're on a lot. Most of the streaming sites. I'm still having some trouble with one of them. I still got to try to figure out.
Call it out.
Call it out. Who is it? Yeah.
Google.
Who is
I
it?
can't figure out Google. It says I need an email
Google.
address tied to the thing, to the RSS feed, and there is one. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I got to figure that one out. But we're pretty much
help us. Email the
3 different
email
dads
email.
at
Yes,
gmail.com.
3differentdads at gmail or whatever. Yeah.
Or whatever. So we're on the big ones though, Spotify, iTunes. So those are pretty much what people listen to. So check us out everywhere.
I think we're fastest growing dad podcast. on Spotify right now.
Speaking of
So
There's so many dad podcasts. I was just googling to see there isn't one that's 3 different dads. That's just us. But there are some with numbers in them also. So, but we won't shout those out. As we always say, thanks, George.
Thank
and,
you,
and Scott too, I guess.
Yeah, Scott for helping us out
Scott.
here.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thanks, George.
Are we
We're
just
just gonna
gonna-
add. We're just gonna.
Are
add
we
this-
just gonna add every listener?
the whole
to the
podcast is
show?
gonna be
If
just
someone
thank you.
comments to us, we will work you in the show.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Even if it's
that's
our
a good
personal.
idea, Jim. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks. Enjoy your week.
If there's nothing